Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to part 2. I just did the part 1 of the applied behavior analysis and I thought, when I keep going, I never like to pass, 15-minute mark of my video, so you would excuse me for cutting that, but still me, finishing up what I started. So, today I'm going to be talking about the ABCs of behavior. Don't worry. It's all behavior. Hopefully by the end of this teaching, you will know how to treat your children without spanking them, actually. Okay? You simply control. You see, for mental health jobs, you don't get to spank clients. So there has to be a better way to handle their behaviors, okay? So that's what I'm going to teach you. Hopefully some of you can use it for your kids as an alternative to spanking. Good luck. Alright guys, let's get into the ABCs of behavior. So A is antecedent, B is behavior, and C is the consequence. Okay? Antecedent is what happened before a behavior happens. Oh, before I go on, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thumbs up to this channel. I appreciate you guys, okay? Yes, my name is Ada. Don't worry, I'm gonna put a doctor in front of it real soon. What's the name of that gentleman who thought Dr. Jill Biden should take the doctor off her name? Dude, chill. It's not that serious. Go get your own, okay? Anyway, guys, back to this behavior issue. All right, so the ABCs of behavior, we are starting with the antecedent. Antecedent is what happened before a behavior occurs. What happens is you deny the child something or somebody something, or a client or a healthcare worker something, or you made a request such as clean your room, do the laundry, go do the dishes, anything that can trigger a behavior from someone. Go to bed, go brush your teeth, you name it. Anything that could elicit a negative response or is considered unfavorable to your subject. And that antecedent is the request, the demand, what you communicated, okay? Oftentimes, and then behavior is what's actually done, okay? Antecedents can trigger behaviors, all right? And sometimes it might be unrelated. It could be a smell, look on someone's face, someone. For clients, it could be that they hear two people talking. Remember when we talked about the why of behavior? It could be sensory, what they see. It could be avoidance. They don't want to do a task, go brush your teeth, go make your bed, go take a bath, go do a laundry, and so on. Do the dishes, iron that. Go iron that shirt, or you're not going. It could be related to them, or it could be something else that they notice. Tangible, when you take something away or you ask them to do something, and so on. That could trigger. An antecedent usually triggers a behavior. Now the behavior is what happens, what is done, okay, what the individual does, and it's measurable. Yelled 4 times, flapped his hand, jumping up and down, talking too loud, cursing. It could be measured, okay? If you were to have a behavior chart for mental health clients in the hospital, all right? A consequence, what happens immediately after a behavior, you see, it has to be immediate, all right? Take my phone away from the light. It could be good or bad, okay? A consequence is what happens immediately after the behavior, such as kids yelling and you let them yell out and you're like, right, you've simply lost your shopping privileges by acting like this in the store. Especially, it has to be something they really like, okay? A consequence cannot be, okay, I'm not talking to you for 5 minutes. Maybe they don't really want to talk to you. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the ABCs once again. You have the antecedent, you have the behavior, and you have the consequence, all in line. Now let's go into things that are related to behavior ABCs, which is reinforcement. Now, reinforcement is what you do to ensure future behavior. Okay, reinforcement is a consequence that ensures repeat of behavior in the future. If a child is yelling and you give them a soda, you've reinforced that yelling equals soda. And that is going to what? You increase the likelihood of that child yelling for soda in the future. Why? Because you have rewarded yelling with something, all right? So consequence happens after the behavior and it increases the likelihood of future behavior. All right. There are two main types of reinforcements. When you give something, it's called positive reinforcement. When you take something away, it's called negative reinforcement. Now, not positive negative based on bad and good. Positive negative means addition and subtraction. Okay. A positive and addition is, oh, for doing so and so, for doing your chores, you can have 5 or you can have an hour of gaming. You've added something, you know? Or you can be appraised, you've given. You have to give when you're doing a positive reinforcement, and then you have to take away when you're doing a negative reinforcement. All right, because you did all the chores and you cleaned the kitchen and did the laundry, you don't have to rake the yard this afternoon. You could do it another time. Or because you did ABC, you don't have to do D. All right, that means you've removed something, and it could be, oh, you had a headache. Let me give you some painkillers. You're removing the pain of the headache, because that could be a behavior. So they know every time they have a headache, they should come, they will get painkillers. Okay, guys? So for me, these were very interesting things to kind of put in a teachable moment or a teachable instance. You know, it's no longer, I see a lot of parents who scream at screaming kids. You know, it's like, hello, you're giving them the attention. Remember when they say all publicity is publicity, whether negative or positive? All energy is energy, whether negative or positive? Yeah. Reinforcements will always either increase the likelihood of a behavior occurring or reduce the likelihood of a behavior occurring, you know? So what are the rules? You know, enforcements, they have to be effective. If you tell a kid that after yelling in tantrums and you tell them, okay, we're done shopping, we're leaving right now. Because of your behavior, we're leaving. I'm not even going to consider buying any of the other things that you wanted because of your behavior. You know, it's like, oh my God, I've lost even more just because I wanted a candy. No, please don't go. Oh, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. You know, it has to be effective, and you have to only reward desirable behavior. That means if the child picks up his toys after playing, makes his room, gets ready for school, you know, reinforce a behavior you want. That means, oh wow, you got up early, you did this, you know what, I'm gonna give you an extra this, we're gonna go to Disneyland this weekend because you have been such a straight A kid at home and you had no trouble at school. It's like you are trying to tell them that this behavior is acceptable, this behavior is desirable, and the more you do it, the more results you get. Oh, wow, straight A, pick a vacation spot, we're gonna go. Wow, you did all your chores, you did the yard work, whatever behavior. You want them to repeat the behavior. So it's not enough. I see a lot of parents who say nothing when their kids are doing well and wonder, well, it was doing well before and just suddenly stopped. Well, you didn't reinforce the good behavior. That's why they felt maybe I'm not doing anything worthwhile. Okay, so you have to reinforce the behaviors that you want. They are calm, when they are polite, like, wow, that is really nice of you. I'm proud of you. Okay, you did a great thing. Help the old lady with her grocery. I appreciate you doing that, my child. You let them reinforce, encourage that this behavior is desirable. That's what it has to be effective. If the child or person appreciates words of encouragement, if they appreciate praise and gratitude, you have to use that. And it should be specific. Thank you for helping the old lady with her groceries. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you for helping me put gas in my tank. I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me put water in the water dispenser. Be specific with what you are thanking them for. Be specific with what you are reinforcing. Don't just say, oh, thanks, that was cool. Which of my activities are you thanking me for? Okay. What else? It needs to be paired with verbal praise. Yes, guys. Um, Remember, it could be verbal or nonverbal. This is nonverbal. It's like, nice done, nicely done. It's like high five, um, reinforcement, because words stick, okay? Um, you're a great kid, you're a smart kid. I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. You are awesome, man. Words, every time they doubt themselves, they remember your words. They remember what you said. They remember the verbal reinforcement that was given, and they know that this is going to fetch them more. Remember, people want more of positive things, and it needs to be established before the behavior. Now, this is so important. Oftentimes, people laugh about it when African American mothers tell their kids, "We're going out. Don't beg for nothing. Don't ask me to give you nothing. Don't even make eye contact with the guest about nothing. If you don't do this, there's going to be a whooping when we get home." Excuse me. Well, yeah, we do that, but what about positive things, for, hey, kids? If nobody acts up at the neighbor's house, if nobody throws up, if nobody makes a mess of the neighbors, of the guests' furniture, we're gonna have some pizza tonight. We're gonna, give them something. You're gonna get 1 hour of game on Saturday if you are well behaved all through the week. You have to set the precedence, the behavior reinforcement before the behavior happens, so that you let them know, we agreed, we discussed, and because you violated this, I'm withdrawing your privileges for A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Okay? So you want to have that conversation beforehand, because once you start saying it and then you're like, okay, if you stop, I'm going to give you this. You've already, you've removed the effectiveness of the reinforcement, and you've only increased the likelihood of that behavior repeating in the future. Okay? Awesome. So I've talked about reinforcement. I talked about ABCs of behaviors, antecedent, what happens before the behavior occurs or what triggers the behavior. I've talked about behavior, which is what an individual does either for to avoid something, to get attention, to get some access to something tangible. Could be money, it could be cigarettes, it could be sweets, it could be candies, it could be gaming time, it could be trip to camp, it could be going to the concert for older kids, and it could be just so that they can see something, hear something, watch something sensory. And I've talked about reinforcement, which is what you do to increase the likelihood of a desirable behavior. Okay, although actually the likelihood of a behavior occurring, which could be positive or negative reinforcement. Positive means you're given something in response to this behavior, and negative means you're taking something away in response to the behavior. And I've talked about the rules of reinforcement, saying it has to be effective, it has to be something they desire or want. You can't promise a kid who wants a cat a dog. Say, if you are well behaved and your birthday, I'm going to get you a dog. and the kid is going to be like, I don't like dogs. So it's got to be something they like. It also has to be effective and immediate. It's like, if you do this, you're going to get this. If you don't do this, you might as well forget this, okay? And I talked about it needs to be discussed beforehand, okay? If you just initiate a reinforcement so that you can quickly stop a behavior, you are actually doing the opposite. That means you are encouraging a behavior if you stop it with a reward, okay? They will simply see it as a shortcut. You know what? If I want a soda, I'm gonna throw down. All right, guys. So I will talk more about other impulsive and hazard awareness of behavior. It's a whole lot to talk about behavior, guys. So let me know how you have handled behavior issues, how you have interpreted behavior issues, and what you've done, and how effective what you've done is. And are you open to try some of these scientifically proven means? Okay, guys? After all this, I would like to thank you. If you stayed to the end of this video, appreciate you. Namaste, God bless. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Till then, I will see you in my next